Giving in felt too much like giving up. Sheridan Baird lurked in the shadows of the white gazebo with Ada Grenhall. Maybe all the people gathering for Middlebury's 4th of July celebration would distract Ada's mother long enough for him to talk to Ada around to his way of thinking. "Please," Sheridan begged. "Let's just ask her." His gaze met hers, and he couldn't help but be drawn in by the green hue of her eyes. He tried not to show his desperation. Sneaking around like this made him feel like a villain. Ada glanced around, wringing her white, starched apron with her hands, leaving wrinkles behind. A long blonde ringlet fell over her shoulder as she bowed her head. "You know what my mother will say. She's probably watching us right now." Sheridan leaned back to peer around the wall of the gazebo. Sure enough, Mrs. Grenhall's beady eyes flashed at him from where she perched on a wooden bench alone under a tree, like a guard dog with its hackles raised. None of the town's women wanted to associate with her, and the men were just plain terrified of her sharp tongue. Nobody could speak with her and come away unscathed. The sun blazed hot in the eastern sky, promising a fair day for the festivities. The aroma of freshly cut grass mixed with the sweet scent of fruit pies to float about on the breeze. A bell rang out clear and sharp in the warm July air. "Can't we discuss this later?" Ada said as she whirled away. "I have to see to the pie table." The wind tossed the skirts of her blue dress as she slipped past him. Scowling, Sheridan stooped to snatch up a stick, giving the tall grass a vicious switching as he made his way down the green. His gaze followed Ada, slender and lovely, as she scurried to the cluster of tables. If he wanted to emerge victorious with any skirmish with Effie Grenhall, he'd need all his wits about him. The Civil War may have ended, but his conflict with Mrs. Grenhall loomed large before him, and he had a feeling this conflict would be anything but civil. Sheridan had been too young to serve in the Union Army when the war broke out, but that didn't matter anymore. The Confederate Army had surrendered at Appomattox, and exhausted infantrymen from both sides straggled home from the battlefield to the businesses and farms they had left behind. Far too often they were defeated men, carrying more than visible scars. Sheridan had lost his oldest brother, Jeremy, and now waited for his father and his other brother, Philip, to come home. A bugle sounded, summoning Sheridan and 6 other young men to the musket table to prepare for the 3-volley salute to the fallen. These young men were selected because they all had lost siblings or fathers in the war. Sheridan ran to the table and seized his breech-loading rifle, 3 cartridges, and 3 percussion caps before joining the others at the end of the line. All the men present removed their hats. A grizzled old officer who had come home from the war too injured to return to the fighting leaned on a crutch at their head, shouting orders. "Make ready!" As if performing a choreographed dance, the young men all broke their barrels, loaded a paper cartridge, and snapped the gun shut. Then they drew back the hammers, grabbed percussion caps from their pouches, and placed them on the hollow metal nipples of their guns. "Present!" Sheridan grimaced as he pressed the breech loader snug against his shoulder and aimed downfield, bracing for the recoil. The other young men did the same. He and his friends would have been in the next round of recruits to be sent south to act as targets for Confederate guns. Imagining his brothers following these orders in the thick of battle, Sheridan wondered if he would have had the mettle and pluck to stand and fire in the face of the screaming Southern hordes. Would he or any of the young men next to him have been able to bear it? Would any of them have come home?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.